Oh yeah, Nnamdi Kanu is finally pushed to his freedom as new judge announced his release. See why? Yes, yes, somehow. I said somehow because of the way today's hearing actually ended. If you are following, or if you have been following us since morning when I encouraged you to follow us up. So, my dear listeners, I greet you. I greet you. I appreciate you benevolently for your opinions, for your ideas, and for your for you being there for us. Thank you so much for for your understanding on this very matter. Well, I will tell you clearly that the IPOP leader Nnamdi Kanu will be set free any moment from now because already the judge is satisfied with all that has that has happened. And the trial of the pro-Biafran independent leader Nnamdi Kanu, which was overdue to resume since on Monday in Abuja before the Federal High Court of Nigeria, has finally held today in Abuja, today being 21st of March 2025. Well, the leader of the independence movement for the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOP, who has been advocating for the secession of the southeastern Nigerian, was arrested abroad after 4 years, now spending 5 years in prison. Well, Nnamdi Kanu, who is charged with terrorism, running an illegal company, publishing and defamatory materials, and illegal possessions of arms. Nigerian Justice Minister Abubakar Malami and the current AGF Fagbemi has teamed up to see that the IPOP leader doesn't secure his bail. Well, this very trial has been on for 5 years now as the IPOP leader keep pleading not released. Many journalists were denied access to this very court today as hearing held held with fairness as the new judge grants Nnamdi Kanu a fair judgment. Well, former Biafra, a deprived region in the southeast, mainly populated by the Igbo community, was the scene of a bloody civil war between 1967 and 1970 after the death of more than a million people, notably from famine and the failure of the rebellion. The Republic of Biafra was finally reintegrated into Nigeria, a country of nearly 200 million inhabitants, regularly shaken by intercommunal tension. Now, the arrest of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu comes after months of unrest in the region and the creation of a regional paramilitary movement. Yes, at least 127 police and security forces have been killed, and some 20 police stations and election commission offices have been stormed since the beginning of the year, according to local media. IPOP denies any accusation of this violence. Well, these are the things read out in accusation of the IPOP leader in today's hearing. Despite all that, the IPOP leader pleaded not guilty of this accusation because he wasn't alive when this war broke out during the Civil War. Yes, he was born on the day of the Civil War but didn't fight the war. He was still an infant, a child with a child with no understanding. The IPOP leader grew up to be a fighter of freedom. He took up the war, fought for the people, and now is defending Biafra. In early July, Nnamdi Kanu tried regaining freedom but was denied his freedom due to tribalism and conspiracy within the government. His freedom has finally been hijacked by politics as Tinubu is now the president in charge of his trial as amnesty is pleaded to be granted to the IPOP leader. All right, my people, that is actually um, what was read out to to the IPOP leader. And I will tell you that all these that we read out, Nnamdi Kanu still pleaded not guilty of all of them. You see, saying that Nnamdi Kanu was born on the day the war was broke out, I will tell you that that is just like someone who was sent to the world to come and fight for the people. You understand? To come and fight for the people. Imagine he was born on the day the war broke out in 1967. Imagine that. Look at that. Look at that. That is to tell you that he was born for that very purpose. And now he grew up to be a man that end up fighting for the freedom of the same people he came to the world for on that very day. Is that not coincidence? So now, how is Nnamdi Kanu to be blamed? How is he to be blamed for all of this? Now, my dear listeners, these are the things and the politics that our leaders are playing that is not encouraging and is not welcoming at all. If Nnamdi Kanu is can can be can be able to face the courts and plead and still plead not guilty of all charges, tell me, what can he not be able to or what can he not be able to do? What can he not be able to do? The Supreme Court have declared him free at first, of which you and I are aware of. So now, why are they still keeping him in prison since he has been declared free? Why are they still keeping him in prison? You see that? So we just have to be very, very realistic and be very, very clear in this very in this very issue. Our leaders are not helping. They are just politicking, using this very trial to politicize and do whatever they like. Anyway, whatever it is, my dear listeners, to this very end, I will say Nnamdi Kanu has really proved himself, especially today in court. And I really, really appreciate the new job.